Fortnite, you're going to be speaking to me with a little more reverence and respect than you did prior to this.
If I try to play beyond the hype.
How come I'm getting like Fisher Price questions?
Guys, what's your favorite color? I am.
Hello, and welcome to the Supply Drop Podcast, episode 71. Today is January 14th, 2024. I am your host today, Thick, and I am filling in for Nate, who will be back on a later undisclosed date. I'm joined today with my fellow host, Scott.
Hello, everybody.
Hello. And today we'll be covering the Suicide Squad. There's some impressions this week we want to talk about. Xbox announces a developer direct. CES has a couple gaming news that we want to highlight.
Yes.
And then Twitch is announcing a layoff, which is pretty substantial. So we'll go over that in a little bit. Scott, have you been following the news this week?
Yes, actually I have, except on Twitter. I took a break from Twitter this week. And wow, this is a nice week. I had a better week of just not reading about people's stupid arguments over opinions. But
that's good. That's good.
Yeah. So.
Well, one thing I could kind of off topic is, have you been following the Alaska Airlines flight door fiasco?
Yes, I did see that. How would you like to be on that flight?
I thought that this thing is like generating a lot. It's like got legs. This news piece.
Yeah.
Because there's an interesting story about an iPhone falling out. Like it just blew out of someone's hand.
Yeah.
And it did not crack. So.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
I do not believe that.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it fell on grass, so maybe that's why.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I mean, I could see it maybe falling. Yeah, like in a sunroof of a like pillow factory or something, maybe.
Yeah,
just plop. Yeah, but when we drop it on your desk and it shatters into a million pieces, then that makes it a little harder to fathom. But you never know. I mean. Did that person get their phone back?
I think so, because I think it was still on, surprisingly. Yeah. It was in airplane mode. So, I mean, they're following directions at least. So.
Man, I hope nobody was tracking their phone at the time. Like, I hope they make it to their destination okay and see it's like, oh, they're at 30,000 feet, 20,000, 10,000 feet, 5,000. I mean, that's probably not when you want to, look for your phone. But
yeah.
Yeah, scary stuff, man. I don't like flying. Do you like flying? I hate flying.
I think I used to work at the airport, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to fly, but nowadays, honestly, I'm fine just sticking where I am.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'll probably take like maybe no more than one trip per year. Usually, if I take more, it's because I'd go with family. To me, it's like I don't really care about specific destinations. I care about who I go with.
Yeah. I don't like to fly at all. I don't like any part of flying. Some people love it. I do not like it at all.
The experience of getting to the plane is like, not a lot of people like that. So.
Yeah, like you just got convicted of murder, basically. Is what it's
much.
Like. And then getting on the flight and then being in this loud capsule for undisclosed amount of time to lose your luggage. Every time I have flown, they have lost my luggage. Every single time. So it's just I don't know. Maybe I'm just one of those people, but I do not like it. Not fun for me.
I mean that's fair. I mean it also depends on the airport too. Some people at certain airports just don't handle things correctly.
Yeah,
that could be the case.
Every time I've flown, I've had to stop in the Denver airport every single time.
Oh, that is the hub.
And that is probably I've been told that's probably where they're it's
lost?
it's going through that compartment, and it's going in the back, and here's your luggage, and then they run into like some cult members that are having their sacrifice or whatever they're doing at the Denver airport, and then it just falls off, and then they have to get it, and it misses the flight. I get it, I mean they got a lot going on there, but still. It's not funny. It's not fun for me. No, thanks.
and I do notice that I care more about legroom than I did before. I don't know if you care.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. I'll just drive. I'll take a horse and carriage over a flight these days.
It's fair.
But But speaking of weather, we were just talking about this. I live in the South in Tennessee, and it is currently 16 degrees, and we have almost 2 inches of snow already. And it's supposed to snow all night long.
Yeah, I heard there's a big storm system throughout. Is it this week?
It's
Like
this week.
upcoming week?
It started about an hour ago, and it's supposed to stop sometime tomorrow, and then the temperature will not get above freezing until Saturday.
Ooh.
So I might miss some work. I don't know what I'll do if I'm stuck at home in front of my computer.
Yeah.
Nothing to do.
What to do, right?
Gee, I don't know. But
Well, hopefully it's not too bad.
nah.
Well, in any case, how was your week in gaming?
It was fine. I had a very busy week at work. I did a lot of traveling, so I didn't get to game a lot. So if I did game, it's really just I grabbed my Steamdeck. I went laid on the couch for a little bit, or
So
watched some TV, and
you've been getting a lot of hours into it then.
yeah, man, I am really digging that thing. I'm working on my review, and it's surprising to me. I loaded the Epic Game Store app today.
Was it easy?
It was pretty easy. There's instructions, and you just follow I mean, if you can follow instructions, you can follow instructions.
Yeah.
However, it was written a year ago, and since then there's been some updates to the Steamdeck OS, and so it's not quite working yet. So I have to do a little more research, but I'm sure there's just something that needs to be installed or redone, but not a big deal. I have some games on there, but it's really just the free crap that they give you.
Yeah, pretty much, right?
Yeah, just stuff that I've accumulated. But I'm going to try to get that to work just for the sake of getting something else to work and playing something outside of Steam on the Steam Deck.
Do you have anything on EA or do you try BattleNet?
No, I haven't. And that was my next one. I was gonna see if I can install Diablo 4 because I hear it actually runs really good on the Steam Deck.
Yeah. You can buy it from the Steam store and it'll run fine.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't want to buy it again. Right?
Yeah, don't buy it again twice.
Yeah, that's what I talked about last week. Sometimes it's kind of like, man, I'd really like to play Diablo 4 on this, but if you just buy it for the Steam experience and just buy it kind of like a console, you have to buy that game on that platform, and it's just that feels kind of like being on a console again. So. But other than that, there's ways around it, and I'll get around it. But I've really just been having fun. I've been playing Hogwarts Legacy. I'm trying to finish Hogwarts Legacy before Dragon's Dogma 2. And I doubt I'll do it, but I'm going to try to do that because I want to finish that game. I want to shelve it. I want to, get...
I know that.
Get over. Yeah, I mean,
get over that backlog.
It's a good game, and I stopped playing it only because there was other stuff that I got busy, and then I came back to gaming, and then I wanted to play something else and something a little easier. And
in the holidays, right? You don't always get that much time.
Yeah. So and then the Steam Deck allows me to play something like that, put some headphones on, lay on the couch, and just take off. So yeah, pretty good week though. Just not as far as gaming.
Oh, that's fair.
What about you?
I got a couple games in. I think I've been still working through Final Fantasy VII Remake just to try to get it in before Rebirth. I'm probably not going to pick up Rebirth for a while, but it's just like you hear about the title coming out and you just kind of want to, revisit the game because you didn't complete it, basically. I mean, I do that with a lot of games. Like when Fallout 4 released, I went back to Fallout 3. Same thing.
Yeah, I get that.
What else did I play? I played mostly Overwatch as well because they had a special weekend. Now this is interesting. Their Quickplay, which is their most played mode, they decided to call it hacked because there's a character that can hack in it.
Oh yeah.
Basically, what they do is they increase the respawn time, increase the ultimate charge, and increase objective speed. So it caps quicker, it moves quicker.
Mm-hmm.
Now I think the idea is kind of fine, but I noticed that if you're on the defending side, if it's one of those asymmetrical type maps, it's pretty hard to defend. The objective moves so quick that by the time you come back, even if the respawn is quick, you still got to walk through a good portion of the map to get to where the objective is moving. So then, like, you
Yeah.
lose a lot of time. And I think a lot of people are kind of frustrated with that. But this is only for the weekend. It's just their way of testing stuff. Their first time trying this, because usually they do all the testing on like a separate thing, which no one goes to. So this is a good way to get data.
Yeah. It's like, here's the test server. Go test it for us. Nah.
Yeah, pretty much.
I get that. Yeah. Cool.
One other game I would highlight is After the Fall on VR. I was playing it on Quest 2. There's like 3 games I bought, and I'm trying to play them all before the refund period, because like I don't think I'll get to all 3. So I don't want to just have it sitting in my backlog, right?
Yeah.
But After the Fall, I probably played about 40 minutes. It's what it is basically a melee roguelite. So I think it's very suitable for something like Quest, something like Quick Session. And I gotta say, this is something that has melee combat down really well. Some people kind of say it's kind of like a rhythm game almost, and it definitely does. But basically, it's all about blocking, and the prompts are very like they have good feedback. Like you could tell when you block. I think this is also a PSVR 2 game now too.
Yeah.
The movement is fine. Oh, what's kind of cool is so like how you I don't know if you know the Quest controller, but there's like a thumb button, normally where like you rest your thumb on a hilt, right? Something like that.
Right.
So like your weapons don't materialize until you put your thumb on the hilt where that button is, and it just kind of materializes in front of you, which is kind of cool. And you also use that button to pick up items. And basically that's how you pick up power-ups, because at the end of every like small level there's like a fair amount of different power-ups. I think I was surprised, like there's some that gives you a little bit more currency if you want to go get a new weapon, or some that makes you like, because you could dual wield in the game. There's also two-handers. I'm
looking at pictures of it now. It looks really cool.
Yeah, I think it was $14, so I think for that price, pretty good. Like roguelite, not bad. I would say like out of all the games I play on VR, this seems like the most complete, because I think they still update it. So
yeah. How long is it, and like what's your completion time on something like that?
I'm not sure. Maybe a few hours. It depends, because it's a roguelite, right? So like I think they give you like the example of the boss that would beat you, and it was pretty tough. And there are supers too. And then what's cool is like each hand has a different super you could use, so you could probably match different supers. And then the weapons you're using, there are gem slots too, so it's almost like a looter in a way, like very very loosely a looter.
Yeah.
So
that's cool.
It does. I think it's what VR games kind of need. I mean, for that price. I mean, if it was $60, I probably wouldn't get it. But a $15 game is very reasonable for this.
Yeah, especially if it's. That's why I asked about the completion time, because it seems like some of the lesser expensive VR games are about 2 to 4 hours.
Yeah.
And really for VR, I think that's really okay.
I think so too.
Yeah, I don't think it's something that you want to have a VR headset on for like 9 hours a day.
Yeah, I noticed that. I was playing more Power Wash Simulator too, but I noticed that I did it sitting, because at home I have enough room to just kind of walk around a little bit more. But when I'm just sitting and moving in VR, I think I actually might get nauseous. I'm surprised. Like it's a very slight feeling.
Yeah.
Like of this uneasiness, like after like a certain amount of time. So I take off the headset and then I feel fine.
Yeah.
So like, it really depends on, how you handle the movement. So yeah, I agree. Like you don't want it to be in VR for like 5 hours if you're just gonna be sitting on your butt.
Yeah. Well, it could be the game as well, because as long as it's over, I mean, as long as it's over 60. But correct me if I'm wrong, but about 120 is where it wants to be as far as people having nausea problems.
I think the Quest does 90 hertz, and I think the Quest 3 might do 120.
Okay. Yeah, that seems like it would be better. I mean, the higher frame rate, the better it's going to be anyway.
Yeah, I could be wrong though. I know
yeah.
was it the original PSVR was it 60? It might have been 60.
I don't remember. I think it was because a lot of people, when it came out, a lot of people were complaining about motion sickness.
I see.
And unless I'm getting that confused, there's been so many VR headsets, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah. You probably, if anyone's interested, just probably check their sources because we can't remember off the top of our heads.
Never owning a VR headset. I did watch some videos recently comparing the PSVR 2 with the MetaQuest 3. As far as like build quality and comfort and, you know, things that would really what I'm interested in as far as like not so much the games, because if it's not comfortable, if it's not a pleasure to use, you know, just like a controller or just like a mouse, you know, if it's something that's bulky and cumbersome and uncomfortable, then I don't care what the games are. It's a VR headset's not something I don't want to use that, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at reviews of like the build quality of these things, the material on the inside and stuff like that. And then I'll start looking at the games and kind of judge it from there. I'm still probably not going to get one. I just don't know if that's a purchase I'm going to get that I'm going to use. I'm going to get my money out of it, you know?
Yeah. Totally makes sense. I really did not get my money out of my Quest 2 until like maybe this year, to be honest, because I decided to get lenses for it, which is probably
that's right. You got
like
prescription lenses, yeah. So I mean, it's stuff like that. You know, you don't want to get. If you get the wrong mouse, you just take it back, and there's no investment. You know, you get the wrong controller, it's like I don't really like this. You take it back, there's no investment. A VR headset, that is an investment as far as. You know, you're going to have a new library of games. You may have to buy other attachments. The PSVR 2, obviously, it's going to have to be attached to a $500 console. So you know that's a purchase I wouldn't take lightly. But I am looking into it, and I'm leaning more toward the MetaQuest since it does not require to be plugged into a PC or a console.
Yeah, and it has the option to be plugged in a PC, which is nice.
Right,
that's probably
exactly.
like the best feature they added because I think a lot of people use that as their primary PC VR headset.
Yeah, exactly, and that opens up more another library of games that you wouldn't have had, you know, previously.
Yeah.
I don't know what Sony seems to. I mean, it's not like they ditched the PSVR 2 already, but marketing and everything for it seems to be non-existent already.
Yeah,
and it came out last year, so that's a little discerning too. I don't want to purchase something that is not going to get supported right after I buy it.
Yeah, I mean, I probably only get a PSVR if they bundled it with Gran Turismo 7, and then maybe
that would be cool. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and that's really it. What I had for this week in terms of gaming.
Cool. All right.
So let's get into the rumors. There's really two rumors this week I wanted to focus on. I don't know if you have any more.
I have two.
You have two.
I have two.
I want to hear yours first.
Okay. Well, make sure they're not the same, but I did find this. Best Buy Canada has become the new Walmart Canada and had a listing for a PlayStation DualSense version 2 controller.
Oh, yeah.
With specs, pictures, everything. Okay. It got taken down immediately, obviously, but some people grabbed some shots. It looks like the same controller. It's not an upgrade or a reset or anything like that, but it does supposedly have double the battery life, a whole new battery system in it, which is, I think it added 4 more hours to the 2 that it has right now.
Yeah, the 2 hours you get with it.
Yeah.
I've been super unsatisfied with the battery life on any PlayStation controller lately, to be honest.
Yeah. My wife just leaves her plugged in. It just there's no sense, you know, if you unplug it and
it's a wired controller.
Yeah, it basically is. Yeah. So yeah, if that's true, that would be great. I don't know. The price looked the same, but it was in Canadian, so I didn't bother to look at the conversion. It was like $89.99.
Yeah, probably the same.
That's probably the same price Canadian. Yeah, it would be like $69.99 here. So, But that's cool. I mean, that's good. They need to rectify some of those things, and hopefully with the DualSense or not. What is their Elite controller? The
Elite.
Their
DualSense Edge.
Yes, thanks. The DualSense Edge. Hopefully, they will apply that to future iterations of.
Yeah, that one.
Of that one
has bigger complaints on battery life.
Yeah, that is a corded controller. Yeah, there's no way around that. And I don't know if this is really a rumor or not. This may have been actually announced, but the Indiana Jones game, someone found the actual name to the Indiana Jones game. So it supposedly is called Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. I hope not. That just sounds rudimentary. That sounds like a kid's book. Like, let's learn shapes with Indiana Jones.
I see where you're going with
that.
that.
I don't know if that's true or not. Whatever.
Oh no, like the Indiana Jones and the whatever like extra title they add to it. It's always been kind of interesting, right? I think what was the name of the new movie or the recent one?
The Dial of Destiny.
Yeah, it's always like some funky name like that.
Yeah. And Dial of Destiny sounds interesting. The Great Circle just. I don't know.
Yeah, there's no alliteration.
No. And that, and that, again, that's just a rumor. I put that in there, but I was thinking that it would probably get released by the time we did the show.
We'll find
so
out.
I guess I got 3. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think the rumors I had were kind of, wait, you have a third one, right? Or was that it?
No, I got another one.
Okay.
I said I had 2, but I actually have 3.
Okay.
And this one is according to middle-aged game guy, not me, the different guy. Says the coalition is testing the Gears collection and also still working on a new IP. So if this is true, that means that the Gears collection is probably slated for launch soon. And they have said that they are working on Gears 6. So it is possible that they are working on Gears 6 and a new IP for the latter future. I would not think that they were to release a new IP before finishing Gears 6.
So either.
Yeah, I don't think Microsoft would really, abide by that. Especially now, Matt Booty's going to go in there and fix that. But what do you think of this? We've heard this for what, 2 years now? Yeah. Yeah, and they keep denying.
I'm pretty excited for a new IP from the coalition.
I
want
am
to
too.
see
Yeah.
what they can do. They're like one of Xbox's best studios. So.
I totally agree with that, and they are masters at the Epic
Unreal
right? Engine. Any iteration. I was going to say 5.0, but like any of them, they did the earliest demos for that version of the engine, and they looked
the Matrix demo, right?
They did the Matrix video as well, but even before that, they did a quick video of just like a medieval knight with some stuff, I don't know, magic or whatever, but it looked absolutely amazing. So these guys, and they help other studios as well with the Unreal Engine. So let's hope that this is true. Let's hope that this is and I don't want to say it, but they did do a drop last year. We got Hi-Fi Rush. They did that shadow drop. Could be the Gears collection. I don't know.
That's hard speculation.
I know.
You might be disappointed.
I know. Well, I always am. So, but until I get that, I really do want that. Yeah. So that was all my rumors that I could find. Yours are probably Xbox related, I'm thinking.
Two different rumors.
Mm-hmm.
One, a Switch 2 rumor, which is based off of
one of the many
AI Shark, formerly known as AI Shark, right?
Yeah.
Really, put a release date for September 24 for the Switch 2 release. Now, this I don't know. At this point, is it really a rumor? Because they kind of retracted it and said that they're estimating. But this is they already got the traction, because I didn't even know about AI Shark, right? So they got their name out there. That's probably what they really wanted. So
what is an AI Shark?
Do you remember Game Shark back in?
Yeah, but is that just renamed? And I do know, I did look it up. This is owned by Alltech Lansing, which I didn't even know was still around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe they rebranded, but I mean, this is their way of just introducing themselves as an AI company, because I think I was looking more information on AI Shark, and like supposedly they have a controller that can learn your movement pattern on your on your controller and predict what you do next.
What?
I mean,
That's just
this is all like conjecture, I guess.
yeah.
So
Well, this
we'll
is just
see.
companies just playing with
Yeah.
AI. I'm sure. New AI controller. You don't even have to play the game anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You could create your own bots.
Yeah, that's funny. It's all tech. It's all tech Lansing trying to be relevant instead of
Yeah.
making excellent speakers back when Quake came
Oh,
out.
I remember
Yeah.
having all
Oh yeah,
Lansing
I think
speakers.
I probably still have some around here somewhere. I can guarantee they're beige. So
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, that's pretty interesting. It's probably true. It's probably 100% true.
I mean, you can. There's only so many months, right? So it's like
Yeah.
September seems like a pretty reasonable month.
Mhm.
Either that or, you know, I think it's too late to say March, right? Because I think if we would have heard something, it would have been already for March.
I don't know. When the first Switch came out, we heard about it around.
November. It was November.
Was it November? I thought it was I
Yes.
thought it was January.
No, it was in January. There was a event in California, which I went to, which is basically where they actually showed it off. It was
Oh,
pretty
okay.
cool.
I thought that was in March or whatever. But
Yeah,
yeah.
I
Oh,
think
that's
it
right.
was-
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
November they had that commercial. It showed Skyrim, with the people on the
Yeah.
airplane.
Yeah.
There's people on the roof, and that became
Okay,
like a
that was
meme.
November. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, springtime launch is probably out. So.
Yeah.
But if it's going to be a fall release, we'll probably see something released in March or April.
Yeah, yeah.
I would think.
I
So-
think for the Switch, like the original release, I think the March was a great time frame because then they had E3 to build a pipe. They had a great E3. That was one of their best years. But
Yeah.
I mean, I could go on for that for a while, but yeah. Let's
Well,
continue.
Let me ask you one question before we go on with this. As far as rumors go, and one of the other rumors is that it's going to have like PS4
I've heard
quality
I've heard-
graphics,
Yeah,
and I just wanted your thoughts on that.
I think that's reasonable.
Yeah.
I mean, PS4 covers a lot of gaming right now, so
Yeah.
I mean, they seem to be on that whole we'll bring last gen games on portable kind of train, which is
Yeah.
fine. I mean, I think it'll still be a portable system because
Yeah.
majority of Nintendo's engineers, I think, are from the portable hardware side.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Yeah, I think it's fine
You're
too.
okay
I think
with
it's
that,
fine.
right?
Yeah, I mean, having a Steam Deck. I mean, the Steam Deck. I'm confident that it does graphics better than a PS4.
yeah,
But playing some of the older games, on a smaller screen, it doesn't. You don't need that much fidelity as you do on a 27-inch 1440p monitor. You just don't. So I think it's cool. I think it's fine.
I mean, there's other rumors too that it's like 120 hertz, right, or something.
Yeah,
I could be wrong, but yeah,
yeah. I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I don't
either.
think that's
I just
no.
don't see that.
No, these games
Like,
are
I
going to
don't
be
see Nintendo
30
doing that.
FPS. Yeah, yeah. We're not. I don't think we're even going to get an upgrade to Tears of the Kingdom. I think it's just going to be.
Yeah.
If
going to be dynamic scaling already, I think.
Yeah.
I think that they implemented that early. They could just increase the resolution.
Yep. Yep. All right. What else we got?
Well, last rumor I have was more so. It's kind of the juicy one. It's kind of been the big talk this week. Xbox exclusives going to other consoles.
Yeah, this is a big one. This blew
Yeah.
up Twitter.
Yeah, like a lot of people were pretty outraged by this on the Xbox side. They're basically I think this started with the tweet or something from Nate the Hate saying that Acclaim
Yeah.
gave it a year where the Xbox exclusive is coming to competing titles, and later mentioned it was Hi-Fi Rush. Later we had some rumors about Sea of Thieves coming to PS5 or whatever. So yeah, I mean, we know that online discourse on this has been kind of messy. I wanted to hear what you think.
I think it's a smart idea. I think Hi-Fi Rush going to the Switch is a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
I think if Sea of Thieves going multiplat is also an excellent idea. I mean, this is a live service game, It has been for years. It's got a good player base, and PlayStation needs games like that.
Yeah.
I don't look at these things like exclusives in the sense of, Xbox needs this and PlayStation needs that, as far as like, their quintessential Halo and Nathan Drake, I look at it as like, Xbox has a very diverse library of games, and PlayStation doesn't. They just don't. They have the same kind of game. It's working for them so far. And then Microsoft, put Spider-Man 2 on Xbox. Who cares? It's not.
That's more of a licensing thing, though, right?
No, that's Sony Sony doesn't own Spider-Man on the game, but they do have a close relationship as far as Spider-Man with Marvel.
Yeah.
But anyway, these companies are trying to make money. We have to remember that. I don't see any problem with it. If they put Halo on PlayStation 5, I don't care. That doesn't. And we got to remember though. How does this affect me as a customer? Forget Xbox. Xbox is $1 billion company. They're fine. Sony, PlayStation, it's $1 billion company. They'll do fine. You're not hurting them by going, hey, this is a good idea. You got to look at it like what's available for you. If you have a PlayStation 5 and you have a chance to play a new game where you can be a pirate and play with all your buddies and blow ships up, that's a good thing. How is that bad? There's no bad to that at all. I don't see it.
So I think the counter argument to this specifically, and this is coming from like Xbox players, is like this kind of devalues the point of owning an Xbox. I get where they're coming from. Just because like you have the box, and then like they're worried like more on the slippery slope kind of idea that if these two games come, other games will follow. And I don't see that yet. Like there's no proof. Like come on.
No.
Hi-Fi Rush is like a smaller AA. It's a really good AA level game. And I think like it's kind of out of the blue for Xbox. It will do very well on other platforms just because I think it's that type of game that has that power. So I don't see why not release it late. They're releasing it a year later. We had it on Game Pass for a year, so it's fine.
Yeah, and Xbox gets games that are released on PlayStation after a year as well, by third party or others. It's not. I don't think it's a bad thing if you own an Xbox and some of their first party games go to another platform. That does not devalue your Xbox because they still have Game Pass. You're not going to get Game Pass on PlayStation. So whereas PlayStation has to pay $60-$70 for that game, who doesn't? Oh, the person that owns the Xbox and has a Game Pass. So I don't think it devalues it at all. I think what it does is it makes it richer for your gaming experience. The more people that play the game, the better it is. The healthier it is. The more money it's making. The more money they're going to put in it.
Especially for Sea of Thieves. And that game right now is on its 6th year, I think.
Yeah.
6
going on
years.
its 6th
it's like
year.
Almost as old as the Switch.
I know. And it's still healthy, and their content is every time I turn around, they've got new content for it.
More or less, yeah.
But it's also on PC. So, and you don't have to have Game Pass for that. You don't have to have a console. You can play it on PC. So even if you're saying that it devalues Xbox by having it on another platform, then it already does if it's on PC, which it doesn't. So I think it's a good thing. Everybody needs to calm down. This isn't. We have to remember that we're the people that play the games, that want the games. If we get more games, it's good. Who cares where it comes from?
Yeah.
Mic drop.
I'm with you on this one. I'm with you on this one.
So everybody just calm down, man.
Now,
God.
I would say that it's potential that they're doing this partly. This is kind of like how PlayStation does it, is they put the first game on there, and then there's a sequel released, and then that is Xbox exclusive. So like a Hi-Fi Rush 2, Spider-Man 2.
Exactly. Right.
Now, so.
Right. Well, a lot of those things, if you can't really use Spider-Man 2 because, again, that's a licensed game. They
but it'll come to PC soon.
Right. Those deals are different. Xbox now has Blade. So, we'll see how that's. I'm pretty confident that is not going to be multi-plat. I think that's going to be exclusive. But it also lets Microsoft pick and choose which games they want to be exclusive, which ones they want, to be, on a third-party platform. And I think it's smart. They're playing the long game. You got to see that. They're playing the long game, and they're going to win at it.
People should stop treating Xbox as just a box, right?
It's not. It's PC.
Box. The brand is expanded.
Yeah, it's cloud. It's PC. It's console. If there was no PlayStation, if you looked at Xbox, nobody would look at it like an Xbox. They would look at it as a brand, like the Xbox brand. And games would also be like $130. So
yeah, potentially.
Yeah, keep going, Sony.
Yeah.
All right, was that it?
I think that's it for the rumors.
Really? Okay, those were good ones. Nintendo's we're gonna have so many Nintendo rumors, man. It's just
it's gonna be a year of Nintendo this year. I mean, it's a hardware year, so it's pretty exciting. Hopefully, I want to see the refreshes if they do happen, like for Xbox.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, same here.
And the PS5 Pro. Hopefully.
Yep.
All right, so let's get into the news. Scott,
right.
What news do you have for us this week?
Well, we've talked about Suicide Squad several times, and they released this to some outlets, and I want to kind of pull up IGN since they're super trustworthy. But they played the game and they have a preview of it, and they didn't like it.
So this is Destin, right? So one thing I want to highlight is Destin's been doing a lot more content on his channel, and I've noticed that his thumbnails have been getting more clickbaity.
Oh yeah.
So I kind of look at this specific preview with kind of like the same light a little bit. But I mean, it's a preview nevertheless. If people actually watch the preview, I don't think what he says is that bad necessarily.
No, it's not. Yeah, none of it that he says in it is terrible, and none of it is really a surprise. I mean, you can look at the gameplay, and that's what I want to talk about, because they did release like a 20-minute gameplay video on their website, and I watched it. I watched the whole 20 minutes, and I feel like I have gotten. I mean, this is just me, but I watched that 20 minutes. I feel like I've played I'm like good. I played it. I'm good. It's a looter shooter, go to this objective, shoot everything that glows, collect the loot, go to the next one. The combat looks kind of fun. I mean, they played Big Shark guy. I don't know his name. I'm a Marvel guy. I'm not really a DC guy.
I forget his name too.
Yeah, it's probably Bruce, I guess. But I mean, the combat, everything looked tight, and everything looked like, there was no jank to it. I mean, it did look like a solid game. Did you watch some of it, or did?
Yeah. I tried to listen to more people's opinions on it, because like if you go in the comments section, people just say like this looks lifeless, blah blah blah. But I feel like a lot of people have the bias that this is not an Arkham game. I'm not gonna like it. Which I see a lot, which I think is. It's an uphill battle for Rocksteady. I mean, we could say that they should have made an Arkham game, but it's not an Arkham game. This is what we're getting.
You kind of have to get over it. If we're getting an
Arkham game, it's going to be years. So you just got to settle down. I mean, you can keep watching the clickbait videos that are just going to pop up after this. But, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, they made a live service game. When I'm looking at it, what I'm looking at is saying, what are they doing that has some Rocksteady flavor to it? Because I think with Rocksteady, with the combat, right? The combat has this kind of like ebb and flow that's unique to Rocksteady games. I don't think many companies have been very good at mimicking it, right?
As far as like if you're talking about melee combat, no. Yeah. I mean, it there's games that kind of have that, and we can use Spider-Man in that aspect because it still has it, but it doesn't have. To me, the Spider-Man combat is not near as fun as Arkham City.
I agree. It's too much like kind of like cutscenes that kind of take you out of it, and it's a lot more light. Like the Arkham games, haven't really I'm not like a huge fan of them, but I could definitely feel when I'm playing the melee, it has like a very kinetic feel to it.
It does. It does. And also, I think probably the best implementation or copy of that is Shadow of Mordor.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Which felt really good.
Maybe the Mad Max, maybe, because I mean it's
that was
WB
that
as
was a
well.
good one too. Yeah. Yeah. So, but this is not that. This is like jumping and
is
shooting.
not.
A lot of shooting. A lot of swinging and
It's
jumping and shooting and jetpacks and
Yeah, the thing is, I
know.
think they took that ebb and flow philosophy from their other game
Mhm.
and kind of pushed it towards movement, because there seems to
Yeah.
be like a movement kind of like combo system to kind of like get you in the flow.
Right.
And I kind of see it. I don't know if you want to, may revisit some of the footage, but like the way Harley Quinn moves,
Mm-hmm.
like basically like there is a grapple,
Yeah.
but you can't grapple onto a ledge if there's nothing close by. So there's a drone, but the
Right.
drone is on a cooldown, so you can only do it every so often.
Right. So
So
you're
you
not
have
just
to
like
learn to
swinging
chain your
around.
moves together.
Yeah.
Because like there's dashing, there's probably double jump.
Yeah.
What some comments I do see is people equate this to Sunset Overdrive 2.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
Well-
kind of looking at it that way. So
Well, with that being said, I mean, if you look at, go look at somebody playing Destiny 2, it looks the same. But when you play it, when you're actually playing it, you know, it's different. It's different than watching it, obviously. I mean, I think that goes without saying, but just the activities that you're doing on in the world that I saw just did not look interesting to me.
it didn't look
But
beyond anything that I've seen. Yeah, I
right.
agree.
But if the combat and if that gameplay loop is fun, then there could be something there. And what you were talking about, like the Rocksteady kind of formula, he did go on to say that the writing in it was very good, like the story
heard that
and
too.
the characters and all of that are good. So that can go a long way. And I kind of compare that to Guardians of the Galaxy. I really liked that game. I loved it, but it got a little too long, and I got kind of tired of
Combat? Or...
no, of Quill. Just saying, "Oh, come on, guys!" Just whiny, just after the 20th hour, like ready to just wring his neck.
Yeah.
So it was good, but up to a point. With this, that's kind of what I fear, is that, okay, there's great writing in this. This is obviously a live service game. This is something that they probably want to continue with it, right? So is that good writing going to continue with this game and not just be in the core package, and then the rest of it's just going to be activities with the same lines they spew out for the next 3 years?
What I'm hoping this is more like a Borderlands than like really live service, right? Because I don't really care about if they have a battle pass, I think that will be a major drawback.
Yeah,
it will be a major point of contention on the internet. I guarantee that. But
I mean,
if it's
you pay $70 for a game, and then they want $10 more for to get the stuff in the game that you bought it for, but I digress. What I saw in the video just did not look interesting enough for me. But with what he did say in the article, it does. I would like to try it. This is the perfect game.
I do want to try it.
That a demo would probably benefit it. If it's fun to play with your buddies, that's all you need. If it's fun to play, period, then who cares? But if they can prove it and just maybe put out a demo or a beta, I would be interested in that. But yeah, that's pretty much. I mean, the article goes. You can go to the IGN and read it. He does have a lot of information in there about the characters and everything, and about the loot that you get and all that. I won't go into all that, of course, but it does give us a glimpse of what's going to be released on February 2nd. I'm pretty sure. I don't think they're going to do another delay. So this
I don't think so
this
either.
is the end package.
This is the coverage.
Yeah.
This is it.
Yeah, this is it.
I mean, I might actually pick it up on disc and then if I like it or not, I'll keep it. Otherwise, I'll just trade it in.
Trade it
I think
in.
that's fine for me.
Yeah.
Because if they don't release a demo, I kind of want to try it. I want to, for my own opinion, rather than just keep hearing the crap people are going to say online about it.
Yeah.
Because I know this is going to be blasted like nonstop. So.
Yeah, and also, again, a game like a Sherlock Holmes game, right? You can go to YouTube and watch gameplay of that and go, okay, I got a really good idea of how this game goes.
Yeah.
I mean, some of them you can actually just watch the whole game on YouTube and you've played it. Something like this, I think you have to play it. It looks to me like it could be extremely boring or actually a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So, yeah, form your own opinions on that one.
Yeah. So I did find one comment that was kind of interesting on YouTube. And this is what he said is like people have had different opinions of the gameplay and they're talking about the alpha. Some loved it, others thought it was okay. But universally, everyone seems to agree that the storyline is strong, as great as the Arkham games. So
Cool.
And then there are Riddler riddles as well. So
okay.
People like that.
Yeah, that was a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Yeah, I
So
mean,
we'll see. Not too long, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, February 2nd. So, and I hear a vacuum cleaner.
That's
Sorry,
fair.
everybody. Okay. So I had one more story, which was pretty quick. It's just really more of an announcement, and everybody, if you're watching this, you probably already know it. But Microsoft has got a date for the January Developer Direct, and it is January 18th. And
that is Thursday.
Thursday,
right?
this Thursday. So they've pretty much laid out what they're talking about. Not really any surprises, but
we'll see.
Yeah, but this is the cool thing. Okay, so they're going to show 10 minutes of gameplay of Indiana Jones. I mean, who saw that coming? Not this guy.
Yeah.
They're going to see. They're going to swing by the Obsidian's Irvine offices to see more on Avowed, which I'm guessing that's probably going to be like, where there are developers like, hey, okay, so when we make Avowed, this is what we wanted to do.
I feel like that's going to be a November game.
Yeah, I hope so. Especially if this is going to be one of those where you see somebody working at a desk and then they give a little flash of gameplay here, a little flash gameplay, I'm more excited about this than I am Indiana Jones. I am very apprehensive about Machine Games making an Indiana Jones game.
It's kind of hard to see because I want to see what the gameplay is, right? Because I feel like Machine Games has mostly been first person, right?
Yeah, which is fine. I mean, it's not like you can't do a third person game, but
trying to visualize that with Indiana Jones is a little hard for me. Right
yeah, I don't think it would be as fun. I mean, I think we all expect a Tomb Raider, Nathan Drake, Uncharted experience, right?
Yeah,
I think that's the way to go, and I think if you do it right, it could be spectacular. But I don't know. I'm just kind of, my anticipation is
kind of mid.
Kind of mid, yeah. But we'll see gameplay, and then I'll go from there.
Yeah, I think that's the main thing. I just want to see what it is. I'm not a huge Machine Games fan, but I respect them because they have delivered pretty solid games for a lot of things. So.
Yeah. Well, Wolfenstein and then Wolfenstein 2, I thought the story and the acting those were amazing. The stories are just like Pulp Fiction type stuff. It's great. I love the story. I mean, I laughed. There was some parts it's like, oh my God, I can't believe they killed that guy. How's he going to get out of this? But the gameplay, it's just shoot. I mean, it really wasn't much, to it. And I know it kind of fit that Wolfenstein thing, but the writers there are top notch. The rest of the games. I mean, and that's just my opinion. So that's why I'm kind of, the writing for this game might be great, but the gameplay, I don't know. We'll see what happens. But Avowed,
the last game they released was the Young Blood, right?
Yeah.
We don't talk about that, but
no, that was their. I don't know what they were doing there, but
We
I think
know
it
what Bethesda
almost
was
killed
doing.
the Wolfenstein franchise for now. Yeah, but Avowed, I'm like all over that. I've seen enough to say I'm ready. I want to play it. Just release it. Shadow
Yep.
Drop. I know they're not
Shadow
gonna do
drop
that.
it.
No, they're not going to do that. But this is our
Well, what do you think
studio
will be
in
the Shadow
Irvine,
Drop?
and you can play it right now.
Yeah, I don't see that happening.
No, not at all. Of course, we're going to see Hellblade 2 again.
That seems like it's imminent. To be honest.
That's man.
That could be the recent drop or like March timeframe.
Yeah, I think I think we're actually going to get a release date this time around. I think they're going to walk through Ninja Theory. They're going to say, "Oh, this is Ninja Theory. We're talking to," and show their the people making it and all this stuff again. Because I think we've seen every aspect of this game. We've seen gameplay. We've seen them motion cap. We've seen people writing code for it. I mean, it's and I think this is going to be their announcement for their release date.
Yep, the bingo cards are all checked. So.
It's got to be, it's got to be there. And then Aura History Untold that's
It's more of a civilization game.
That's the civilization. It looks amazing. I probably won't play it. I don't feel like it.
I've never been into
no,
those games. Are really hard.
Those games make me feel dumber than I already feel. So no thanks. But it looks fantastic, and we may get a release date on that because this has been shown twice already, I think. Yeah, and that's kind of it. They're going to do a little thing afterwards for ZeniMax Online Studios with Elder Scrolls Online. They're having a global event this year. I believe marks their 10th anniversary.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You're right.
Can you believe that?
It was 2014.
2014. Yeah, I played the beta on Mac.
Yeah,
2013. Wow.
It had a subscription at the time, right?
It did.
Yeah.
It did, and also came with like 70 CDs, I think, if I remember correctly. Like, God, that thing was. No, I'm just kidding. I think it actually did come with like 7 DVDs, 7. So that was fun.
And it did not launch well. It did not launch well until Tamriel Unlimited or whatever came out.
Yeah, it was a little rough when you first played it. It was where you started. It's kind of like WoW in a way, where you've got like you've got the orcs and you've got the humans, but with this, it was like you have 3 different areas, and if you picked this area and your buddy picked another area, you couldn't play together because you're sworn enemies. Yeah, great on paper, didn't implement well. They got rid of all that. It's a great game. It's an excellent MMO. If you want to get an MMO, it's one to definitely try. They'll have an event, and that's really all they're saying about it. So,
yeah, one thing is ZeniMax Studios set to introduce a new IP? Wasn't that rumored?
That's rumored for E3. Or I'm sorry, not E3. E3's dead. That's slated for summer this year. So they're thinking that they'll reveal that at their show this summer. But again, that's just rumor. They haven't gone any further than these 4 games right now as far as like release date and stuff. So
got it.
I think they're really smart doing this. This kind of tempers your anticipation of, getting all this E3 quality stuff in January. And that's not what's happened. This is kind of like a check-in, maybe some release dates. I don't think there's going to be a shadow drop, to be perfectly honest. I think with them being this transparent with everything, I don't really think that there's going to be anything.
They were transparent last time with this, and there was a shadow drop. Right?
Yeah, but I mean, are they going to do that every time? Do you think they would do that again? I want the Gears collection. I know, I've said it. I mean, I hope that they, but
it worked out for Hi-Fi Rush. I think it worked out pretty well.
It worked out really good. Yeah.
So, I mean, it might have been lightning in the bottle for Hi-Fi Rush. I don't know if they could do it again, but they might try it again, I think.
I think Gears Collection is something that could be shadow dropped successfully. I mean, they're not going to shadow drop like Avowed or something like that. So, I mean, that's just ridiculous.
Those are not happening.
That's got to have build up. It's got to have anticipation. It's got to have marketing, all this stuff. It's got to be on Mountain Dew cans everywhere before it comes out, all that stuff. We'll see. I'm clearing off some space on my hard drive just in case, but we'll see. But that's all the news I had this week.
That's good. Yeah, I am excited for Direct, so we'll see how that plays out this coming week.
Yeah. Fingers crossed.
Okay.
Where's my camera?
So I got two stories.
Okay.
We'll start off with the slight. Well, it's pretty sad, but basically Twitch, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
I wanted you to do this
Cutting-
because I always bring these stories.
yeah, I know.
You're so
I know.
doom
I gotta
and
bring the
gloom.
bad news every once in a while, right?
Yeah. Yeah. You got to
So-
do it.
You're cutting 35% of their workforce. That's
Yeah.
why I kind of wanted to highlight this. I know this is happening like industry wide, but the magnitude of this seems pretty big for the company itself, right? 35% of Twitch is about 500 people.
Yeah. And this doesn't seem to fall into that. Okay, 2020, everybody was playing games, and we've hired a bunch of people, and now we can't afford them. I think this is more.
I think partly, but
You think? I think it's more mismanagement than anything. This isn't a game company. This isn't developers. I mean, they didn't have to hire any extra people if, or certain people were getting more views. It sounds a little different.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I agree. I do know. So some facts about Twitch is in 2022, they made 2.8 billion, but they did not make a profit. They've been unprofitable for 9 years.
Wow! Holy cow, man!
Yeah.
Are you serious? How do
Yeah, I mean, it's just how
Wow.
these platforms kind of work, right? I think is Twitter even making a profit?
Oh God, who knows?
Yeah.
Now, this is owned by. Didn't Amazon
Amazon.
buy them? Yeah.
Yeah, they bought them
Yeah.
in 2014.
Yep. Wise decision.
I mean,
No.
I think it's kind of helped, but we'll see. I'm curious what Amazon will do if they might dump the gaming in their system and just focus on AI and commerce. I don't know.
Yeah, it's possible. Yeah, this is probably a hard business to really make a lot of money at. It all has to do with ad revenue, and yeah, that's difficult. I mean, as YouTubers, we know that it's very difficult. So
one thing is, what do you think is the most viewed category in 2023?
Ooh, on Twitch, God, it's probably not what you would think, right?
It's just chatting.
Is it really?
Yeah.
It's just people talking.
Just chat. Well, I mean, you know what people like to do on just chatting. Like, what
No, like what? Just chat?
they try to attract you in different ways, but yeah, I mean, the type of people.
Oh, it's like the friends that you get on PlayStation. That's like, I'm Jill. Let's be friends. And they're not real. Okay, I got you.
There's a lot of that, but I mean that's a separate issue. I don't know that's not just Twitch. That's like everywhere at this point.
I mean, they could change their
policies.
No more
polls.
Somebody's making money on that, so I don't know. Just an idea. Probably
I kind of
somebody's
feel like
thought
Twitch
of it.
is kind of full circled because originally Justin TV was kind of like your all-encompassing live streaming back in the day. Is like 15 years ago, right?
Yeah.
I think at this point. And now we're getting past games, and now it's a lot of other stuff on Twitch. Like Twitch is no longer just games.
Yeah. There's like cooking and stuff like that, and yeah, which is probably smart.
It is smart. I think that's partly demand too, because if the category doesn't exist, they'll just like abuse a gaming channel or just pretend they're gaming.
Do you remember Mixer on Xbox?
I remember Mixer.
Yeah, that was really easy to use, and it was fantastic, and they killed it because it was super expensive to maintain, and they made zero revenue on it.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, so
that gives you move on Microsoft's side.
I know. They're such
Although
idiots.
what's it? Microsoft regrets getting rid of Windows Phone. Have you heard about that?
Yeah, they should have stuck in there, and I mean they bought Nokia, man.
Yeah.
Or Nokia, wherever you're from. So just bring
you
back
win some, you lose some, right?
Bring back the Zune.
Yeah, we'll see on that one.
No. All right.
Okay. Yeah. Aside from that, I want to kind of this is more news in a way that I just want to talk about CES.
Yeah.
Because, you know what CES, Consumer
Oh, yeah.
Electronic Show,
Yeah.
happens every January in Vegas. We see a lot of cool things. It's a lot of stuff outside of gaming, but occasionally there's some random gaming announcements. Sony, well, actually, no, the original Xbox was revealed
That's
at
true with The
CES.
Rock
Yeah.
and
Now, we didn't
Mr.
get that
William
sort of
Gates.
reveal.
No, no, that thing's so cringy. Go watch
Yeah,
it. It's weird.
I rewatched it recently. It's like it's very corporate. I mean, and it's
Well,
kind of
come on. I mean, Bill Gates can walk into a strip club and it would
make it
feel like a
corporate.
board meeting. Yeah, I mean, he is just so. He's like the most uncool person. That's like when Urkel grew up, and that he turned into Bill Gates. But yeah, no thanks.
charisma like -10. Not in a bad way.
No,
His intellect
no.
is probably like +10.
Oh yeah, I mean he's definitely smarter than you and I and anybody
Yeah.
listening to the show. But there's a cost.
Yeah.
There's a definite cost. But-
Any case, what is
Yeah.
it? What we kind of see. Did you have anything notable before I continue? Or-
Well, I watched a couple of things. I watched NVIDIA, AMD, and Intel, and really it was AI, and more AI.
lots of AI.
Lots
That
of
was
AI
definitely
stuff.
The talk.
NVIDIA announced a couple of things with the cars, like the 4090 and 4070, 4080
The supers, right?
yeah. Which are just rehashes. Anyway,
This,
I swear I'm going
NVIDIA's
AMD.
sitting pretty high, so
Yeah.
they're pretty much like Sony. They don't have to do much.
Yeah, I'm when I upgrade my GPU, it's definitely gonna be an AMD. I just feel dirty
Give
having
it a
an
try.
NVIDIA. Oh yeah,
Give it a try.
I
That's-
definitely am.
Was it AMD? I think they announced a mid-tier card, just kind of
Yeah,
I
it
guess
was.
to be relevant, right?
Well, they already have a 7600X or a 7600, but I believe it's an 8 gig card, and this
Now
is
it's
the 16 XT. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which has more memory but the same bus size. So it's kind of like
It's kind of like bottlenecked in a
yeah, it's
in
kind of like
speed
having a
section.
4-lane highway, but then it immediately goes into a 2-lane highway anyway. So, but more memory is always better, even if there's a little bit of a bottleneck. But
Yeah,
I don't know if there's pricing on that yet, so that will really tell if it's worth any kind of upgrade.
Yeah, I haven't really been too interested in this sector of game, or because right now I like the high mid-tier cards.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like the highest cards because
Oh no.
very cost inhibitive.
Yeah.
But like the high mid-range is kind of the sweet spot. for, like,
I'm with you
collective.
too. I'm looking at a 7800 XT.
Ah, okay. I have
Uh,
a 6800, not XT, but just 6800.
Yeah.
The 6800 XT was too big for my mini ITX.
No, I'm looking at these cards. I'm like, what's the measurement? How big is this thing? Because I'm like, I got like that much room left. But as we have PC corner, sorry, console players, we'll get back to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is always interesting because when they announce these newer cards, the ones that are currently on the market start to drop a little bit. Not a lot, but they do drop a little bit, and that's where I'll be looking. That's where I'll be shopping. That 7800 XT probably this summer. Hopefully will drop. Hopefully $100. I don't know. So we'll see.
Yeah.
But that's what
I think I might consider a 4070 regular if so my PC is white, so I want to try to match it and see if I can get a white one with that will fit, right?
Right.
I do like that NVIDIA cards are generally smaller because they don't heat up as much, which is kind of nice.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I mean,
unless you
like
get a
to go back-
4090, that thing's the length it is longer than my computer.
That's gonna move my SSDs out of the way or just crush them.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Oh, it's no thanks. And it's also, $1,700, so
pretty
yeah.
much.
Yeah, not for me. But yeah, I'm going to go red and you're going to go green. That's awesome.
Yeah, I might.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
So speaking of PCs, I don't know if you noticed the trend with the gaming PCs, but they're kind of like becoming a little bit more mature, not as like
RGBE.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
they've really toned it down. Like I don't know if what was your last gaming? Do you have a gaming laptop or
No?
No? Okay. Well, it's probably because a lot of them are pretty noisy, right? Like they kind of look all, they look. You could tell it's a gaming laptop. But now, like the newer
Yep.
ones, they're a lot more discreet, which I like.
Yeah, Razer had some that they announced, and they're very stealthy. They're just like very plain black, a little bit gloss, and that's it. You know,
Yeah.
which is crazy for Razer because I mean if they made a toothbrush, it'd have LEDs on it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree. It's starting to, the new cases that I'm seeing come out are looking more like the focus is the case and not the illuminated fans inside.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like,
which is a
the
good
build
thing.
looks a lot better too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only LEDs I have in mind is there's the logo for my GPU, which I couldn't, you can't really, I could put tape over it, I guess.
Yeah.
And then my memory has RGB on it. So, and that's it. Everything else is just black. So
Yep.
I like it.
What's it? What else? Oh yeah, with the Nvidia reveals, they did show off Forbidden West for PC.
Yes.
I think that was a kind of stealth drop in a way. So
yeah, that was an announcement at Nvidia, which was kind of odd. You would think that Sony would have that announcement at their.
I think this is on par with what Sony likes to do, right? They kind of
distance themselves from the PC. Yeah.
Well, they kind of let everyone else speak for them at this point, right? Because I feel like I see this a lot, like third-party trailers, like it'll be like PlayStation only, but it's not within the PlayStation announcement. It's just from its own thing.
Yeah,
So,
you might be onto something there. That is kind of interesting. It allows them to be less transparent, and they don't really have, we're not seeing Jim Ryan again, of course, up there talking about anything. So, yeah, it lets them kind of take a back seat to the show as
I will have to point it out because it's kind of subtle, but they do it a lot more than you think. I mean, I recall at least one or two trailers like that last year. Like it was like a show without a Sony presence, but so there's a lot of PlayStation announcements like in it, but it's not from Sony.
Yeah.
So
incognito. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got you.
Much.
It's pretty smart.
So one thing that was kind of interesting was also the MSI Claw.
Yes.
I know we talked about it briefly.
Yes.
But this is going to be the first Intel-based handheld.
Yep.
Now with this one, it's actually smaller than the Steamdeck from when they compared it.
Yeah, it is. I'm looking at the specs now.
I think it's Meteor Lake, their new Intel processor, right?
It says the Ultra 7 155H.
Yeah, they're getting more confusing with the names. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, when have they not? Yeah.
Yeah.
It should be just Intel Daryl. Yeah.
So this is using their Arc GPU, which I mean, Intel for the past few years has been working on their own GPUs instead of like NVIDIA or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And this seems to be like just a product of that. It's APU, right? Because it has the GPU and CPU in it together.
Right. Yeah, this is kind of similar to what they do with their smaller form factor PCs, where they'll have a somewhat, not as far as performance, but just really as like technology, is where they'll combine that to create a GPU for a smaller, actual computer, so you can put in under a desk or something like that.
Yeah, I like those computers. I've started to like them a little bit more.
Like as they get faster.
Desktop.
Yeah. And this is like the gaming version of that. What are your thoughts?
I am hoping the performance is pretty good because we're like what now this. I feel like these handhelds kind of are going in much quicker upgrades,
Yeah.
Like the ROG Ally was at Best Buy this week was $400, and it's got the chip from last year.
Yeah.
So does that mean we'll get a new chip this year, or
Probably.
We'll probably have a lot of iterations?
Yeah, it's Asus. They'll have probably by the end of the year they'll have a ROG Ally 2 or something.
Yeah, I think that's the exciting thing about these handhelds. Like the the upgrade rate will be a lot quicker.
Yeah, and looking at the technology of this one, this does have a 1080p screen. It is running Windows 11, 120 hertz refresh rate. It's got everything that you would want in a handheld. But one thing I want to point out is one thing I noticed when I picked up a ROG Ally is the stick placement. And I know this has nothing to do with the technology of it, but the stick placement is much like an Xbox controller. On the left, it's up, and then on the right, it's kind of down in the middle of it. For me, this is extremely uncomfortable because when you're holding it and you're trying to move the thumbstick with your right thumb, if your thumb is at like 9 o'clock, then the weight of that, what you're holding, no longer is in the palm of your hand. The weight then becomes at the top of your hand.
I get what you're saying.
You're having to squeeze the top of it to hold it. And this is the reason I did not use a Switch for very long. Because you can't really hold it and move your thumb all the way down to the bottom. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Like, why do they do that? Now, Valve went in and obviously the sticks are in the same position on both sides. And when you grab it, your thumbs automatically land on the thumbsticks. And they're pointed at about, like 11 o'clock on your right. And for me, that is extremely comfortable holding it because you still have all the weight is in your hand right here, so I feel like it says ergonomic design for optimal gaming. Is it? How are they missing this? Or maybe it's just me. It can't be just me. I mean, my hands are not weird. I have the same hands everybody else does. So why do they keep doing this? I don't understand. And if you look at it, it is right in the middle right in the middle. So if you're holding it and you're having to move your hand out to put your thumb on it, you can't hold it with your right hand. I don't know. So if anybody's got a ROG Ally or, not a Steamdeck, post a comment down below. Let us know.
I do see it's a little bit wider than the Switch, though. So I think that helps a little bit.
Yeah, on the end piece right there,
Yeah.
and then thickness of it. Hopefully that will help. And I haven't had, I have obviously not picked one of these up. The ROG Ally, I can attest to it not being that comfortable or as comfortable as a Steam Deck, but that was definitely one of my choices.
Highlights? Right.
Yeah, for picking out a handheld was that if it's not comfortable, it's like a VR headset. If it's not comfortable, what's the point? But anyway, I feel like I had to throw that in there. But it does have Hall effects triggers as opposed to the regular triggers. Now, if you don't know what those are, that uses
Magnets.
It uses magnets to detect where the movement is, as opposed to spring-loaded.
Like that tension, yeah.
Yeah, it's sensors basically is what the standard ones use that we all know.
The standard ones have like more friction, and that's where the wear and tear comes from.
Yeah.
The Hall effects are just like, it's just gliding kind of.
Yeah, it's not. You're not going to lose. Unless something happens to our north and south poles. You're not going to have any issues with that. You're not going to have any stick drift. What's causes stick drift?
I've yet to try a Hall's effect. Have you?
I have not. I'm interested.
Yeah, I'm curious how they actually feel, because I've heard some people say it's not good, but it might depend on like who makes the controller.
Yeah, I've heard it's different. It's like it's not. There's not enough tension for some people. But I like very low tension on those.
Yeah.
And
well, that's the Xbox controllers. Like the Xbox One, they started to have very low tension compared to the 360 one, from what I recall.
Oh yeah, if you pick up a 360 now, you're like,
you gotta put a lot of force. Yeah.
Turtle Beach has a new Xbox controller that is wireless, and it does have Hall effects triggers. And I think it's one of the things that the Turtle Beach actually makes this decent is their controllers. I have to say, it pains me to say that, but yeah, I'll check those out as well. But yeah, this looks good. All in all, it looks good. I don't like the way that I like the specs. I don't like the way it looks. I think it looks goofy. But
yeah, I don't like the way it looks. I think Maybe it's just because it's a black console. Like I like how the ROG Ally's a white console, just like the different look of it, right? It has like it kind of matches with other ROG devices, I guess, because I
Yeah.
think they kind of had that light color to it.
And where the Steam Deck is like all blacked out and looks,
Yeah.
a little more business-like.
It's more so like the finish. I feel like that kind of toy-like finish to it.
Yeah.
That dark toy-like. I mean, I can't quite put my finger on it, but I mean, I think that's where I'm going.
Yeah. But this has like RGB around the sticks and maybe the buttons. The buttons look like different colors, so I'm assuming it has RGB.
I think it's just one single LED for that.
Yeah, let's turn that off and save some battery life.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure you can turn it off.
Yeah, I'm hoping that you can turn it off. And as far as like the GPU, the Arc is performs well in some games, and really shitty in others. So I don't know how that's going to apply here, but we'll wait and see. I can't wait to see a review of it.
I've seen was it like the art team kind of talk? They've been pretty good about staying like active, like talking to the community about their hardware. So I think they're making efforts, but yeah, you're definitely kind of getting a product that's not as mature, the Arc GPUs.
Yeah.
But they are getting bigger performance. Like if you had one of their cards, the performance in it now is a lot better.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it definitely matures. It's not something that's going to get worse. And I think it's great to have another GPU in the market.
Another competitor, yeah.
Another competitor. It makes it, and the better they do, the more competitive pricing that NVIDIA and AMD have to do as well. So
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, because right now they're looking like PlayStation and Xbox right now. Yeah. Like, oh, it's NVIDIA, you'll pay anything for this thing, that kind of mentality. So,
yeah.
So bring it, Intel. Get your act together.
Any other notable things? Because I think, I want to mention this, but I don't really feel this is gaming related, is the Sony mixed reality headset. It seems like it's more business, though. I don't know if you saw that one.
I didn't. I looked for that, and it just came up with the PSVR 2. I didn't go too in depth in it.
It's like the controller it has is more like, it's almost like a pointer / like mouse. So I just don't see it being like really gaming related. But it was notable. It seems like, Sony's kind of branching out with that sector of company.
Yeah. So. Yeah. They tried to do the same thing with HoloLens. If you remember, the presentation they gave was like Minecraft on a table.
Minecraft, I remember. It was in one of the Xbox presentations, right?
It was, yeah. Oh, no, wait. No, I don't know.
It was Minecraft on the table? Or?
Yeah, it was. I was thinking it was, I thought that was CES, but I don't know.
I'd have to look it up. But
Yeah,
I remember seeing the Minecraft demo, right? Like they were in, like, it was on the table, or like that's
turn
it.
Yeah. They sold that technology to the military for like $42 billion.
There you go.
And the military ended up not using it. So tax dollars.
That seems normal.
Yep. And we're just playing around with it and just toss it. I think they just traded it in at GameStop. So
yeah, pretty much.
All right.
Any non-gaming CES news that you were interested in? Just throwing it out there.
Not really. I mean, anything that I searched for had to do with gaming. That's where my mind is. I don't think it's like this nifty new microwave. There's probably a lot of cool stuff out there they're talking about, but
there's a lot of car stuff.
A lot of car stuff, a lot of AI stuff, AI stuff, which is a little scary. But we'll see. NVIDIA had their AI game where they had the guy goes into a bar basically, and it's set up kind of like an RPG, almost like a mimicking Cyberpunk, right? Talking to this NPC, and he actually talks to them using a microphone. Like, where can I find this thing? And she's like, oh, well, you go over here and go down and talk to so-and-so. Very interesting. Very staged, very probably half fake, but that was
premise.
Right. The premise, as far as like AI in gaming, that was the most promising thing I saw. Is that's what when we as gamers think of AI in gaming, that's what we think about, right? I mean, that's what it's not how to implement NFTs through AI or how to, have an AI person in the game that just, manages a store that sells you stuff. Or, how like you've got a controller that mimics how you use a controller.
Yeah.
These things, I just feel like they're probably going to end up using them for all the wrong reasons. It's probably going to be like for manipulating marketing information or, who knows? Like if you have an AI buddy in RPG and they're consistently going, hey, have you checked out the store today? There's some new skins. It's like, hey, we need to kill that dragon. Hey, but wait, before we do that, there's new horse armor. Right. Let's go check out this horse armor at the store, like, oh, they're just going to do that. I know Ubisoft's going to do it, but we'll see. But yes.
One thing, now that you kind of pointed that out.
Yeah.
Maybe the mic on the PS5 will actually be useful. Like on the
right on the controller. Yeah. Other than talking to someone, having a private conversation, not realizing that your damn mic is on that. Right. Yeah. I hear that a lot. When you play Call of Duty, change the batteries in your smoke alarm, man. I mean, seriously, I can hear it through your controller. I mean,
I don't understand why. Is there no way to default that off? Because it's always on.
No, you have to physically push the button. It's backwards. You should have to physically push the button to unmute it when you turn it on. Yeah. But so,
or at least give the option to default, right?
Yeah, exactly. But there's not. It's probably their way of collecting marketing data.
Maybe.
Yeah. So
about your fire alarm, yeah.
Yeah, that and it's like you start getting ads for Energizer and Duracell. It's like change your battery.
But one small thing I forgot to mention is Sony and Honda. They had a car.
I saw that.
Right?
I did see that. Yep. Controlling it with a controller.
PS5, right? Yeah. They used the controller. They used a PS5 controller to bring that on stage. I'm sure, stage, whatever.
Oh, well, he even said that. He even said, like, after this, like, this is not a representation of actually, we did this just for the show. It's not, but cool nonetheless. To bring your, bring your car around. It's like, oh, I parked way over there. Let me get my controller. I'm sorry, but that would be pretty cool. An insurance nightmare, but yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there was another demo like that too, but this was over 5G, where you actually controlled a car that's probably in the parking lot or something.
It was wirelessly?
BMW.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the 5G.
Wow.
But you could not move faster than like a certain mileage.
Oh, well, yeah. So you could bring my car to me with my controller or my phone.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
So that's not really gaming related, but that's
that's
fun.
Man, that's some high level James Bond shit right there. Yeah. Just car, come to me now, and
or park the
awesome.
car, right? You just leave your car in the parking lot and park it while you're moving to whatever you're going to.
Yeah,
right.
You go in and get. I have reservations at 7. Go park yourself.
Yeah, Valley Park yourself.
Go park yourself. That's awesome. I love technology.
Yeah. I think that's it for CES, and I think that's it for the show.
Yeah.
So any last words?
That was over too quick.
Yeah, it was a quick one. This week.
Let's see. Next week we'll have the Xbox Developers Direct to talk about. If I'm not too busy playing the Gears collection, and definitely Indiana Jones. I'm
Shadow Drop.
Yeah, being a graybeard, I am a huge fan of Indiana Jones. Obviously, I grew up with this, and I hope it's good. I really hope it's good. We'll see. But there is an actor out there that did Han Solo's voice in Battlefront 2. Mm-hmm. He sounds just like Harrison Ford. I mean, that's his job. He does Harrison Ford, and it is phenomenal. So hopefully they'll have the voice right. And I doubt they're using Harrison Ford. He's probably like not interested in doing that. But
he's probably going to license his voice to AI eventually.
Probably I was like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's going to be exciting. We'll have plenty of that to talk about, and then and Thursday, if we're not, frozen over in an Arctic turmoil here in the South, we'll see what happens. But yeah, it's going to be nice. So stick around. See us next week. We'll come back.
See you guys next week. Where can they reach us?
They can reach us right here on YouTube and leaving a comment below. Yeah, we're not really doing an audio version anymore.
Not as of late.
Not as of late. We
like YouTube.
We like YouTube. We like the visual. We like the interaction. We can interact with you if you leave a comment. And on a podcast on the other networks, you can't, in an Audible one, you can't really do that. So that's why we're here. Do you have any words for us?
Yeah,
any wise
I'll just
words?
leave you with the quote.
Yeah, let's do it.
Listen, the whole system is designed to make shit roll downhill faster. So that's from Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Is it really?
Yeah, there's a lot of modernized dialogue in that game, which I find kind of funny.
Yeah.
And I like how they kind of give some of the characters these different personalities from, the past. They're very lively.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. All right. Well, that's a good one. I like that. And I think we can all relate to that one, too. Okay. All right.
See everyone next week.
Bye.
Bye.